Hey, good morning. It's Dr. James. I do hope and pray this message finds you and your loved ones peaceful, thriving, and well. And I believe with all my heart you are going to love this message. You know, this morning I was reading one of my favorite Rumi poems. I've been reading this poem more and more these days because it speaks so deeply to the times that we're living. I'm going to paraphrase it for you just here for a moment. He talks about how we are like a guest house. And as part of being a guest house, we invite in different things, guests, such as compassion, resentment, anger, love, joy. All of these things, all of these emotions, all of these feelings kind of come into our being, and we are the guest house. And we get a chance to host them as long as we want to. And I think for more of us, we probably hosted a lot of emotions over this past year plus, and maybe we're just kind of going, you know what? You've stayed long enough. It's time for you to go and go on your way. And it reminds me of a beautiful, spiritual, and deeply, deeply awesome topic today, which is how it is that we can combine spirituality and science to help us really kind of augment what we probably believe in our heart. We know it works, but then there's a great science behind it that says, oh my gosh, does this really work? And this is all about the power of a word. And a word is often referred to like the Bible, the word of Jesus, the word of Buddha, the word of a teacher, an affirmation, a mantra, a prayer, whatever the case may be, a word. And when you choose a word, and I to say choose a value that you want to be working on, a value that you need to want to kind of bring more forward in your life. My word over these last several weeks has really been focused on compassion, and really looking at compassion as a global experience where everyone, all walks, all faiths, all politics, all are invited into my experience in my work on compassion. And what's so beautiful is that science tells us when we have a word, and my word being compassion, it literally augments the functionality of my neuroendocrine system. So I develop more and more emotional resilience. I actually lower stress hormones. I build more and more of the hormones associated with compassion, with openness, more with the idea of how it is that I can actually augment positive, healthy gene expression. That's right, literally. Having a word. So what I'm doing every single morning, I wake up, before I get out of bed, I hold the word. And then I write it down in my journal after prayer time in the morning. And then throughout the day, I try to at least once an hour, take at least 2 full minutes, and I meditate and I pray on that word. And what I know, because the research is actually looking at functional MRIs, we are literally reorienting our entire physiology to actually open ourselves to experiencing the word. We literally become the word. So if your word is acceptance, awareness, love, openness, unconditional love, how about that one? You literally start to genetically, emotionally, hormonally, physiologically, neurochemically develop, create, become that word. And I love how that can work for us today. We all are carrying a lot these days. It can be really heavy. And I like kind of thinking that I can take one word to lighten my load, just one word, and allow myself to remind myself, my smaller self, my bigger self, my more evolved self, the self that I really would love to be more often, welcome that self in. As Rumi said, we get a chance to be a guest house, and we get a chance to remind ourselves who we want to invite in. I'm working on inviting in more and more love, more and more light, less judgment, less heaviness, more faith, more love, more of my true self, the guest I love to be, spending more time with, me. So find your word, maybe write it down here for us so we can all kind of look at your word and hold you in our hearts affirmatively with love. Thank you. Thank you. This is a really good time to be awake to the great possibilities of being us, living and loving out loud. Have a beautiful day. Much love and every blessing. Bye for now.